Very good evening to all. Today, my group are going to present on our project, which is Biography of Mahatma Gandhi. Let's go. Listed below is our group member's name and metric number. This is an outline on what we are going to present in this video. Let's start.
Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi is commonly referred to in India and the world as Mahatma Gandhi, which means good soul. He is a political leader, implanted spiritual leader of India and of the India independence movement. Gandhi was born in 1869 in India into a wealthy family. He was brought up with Hindu values and learned early on about other religions, towards which he was tolerant during his life. In 1888, he went to London to study law. On his return to India, he was divided between Indian customs and Western values. In 1893, Gandhi was employed as a legal advisor for an Indian company in South Africa. There, he discovered racial segregation and the domination of the British over the local population. For the next 20 years, he fought against injustice and laws, making people aware of the importance of social union. Faced with new segregationist law, Gandhi developed a movement of non-violent resistance and mass civil disobedience. Having obtained significant advances in 1914 from the South African government, Gandhi returned in India, where he undertook a one-year journey to discover more about his country. At the end of the First World War, the first demands for Indian autonomy began, still using non-violent but active means. He organized civil resistance and non-cooperation campaigns, such as boycotts, silent demonstrations, hunger strikes, and a march during which he walked 3,050 kilometers for 24 days with thousands of Indians. He also fought for the abolition of the caste system and equal rights for the untouchables, and for the unification of the local India principalities. In 1947, British granted independence to India, but in order to guarantee internal peace, the country is divided into two states, India and Pakistan. Gandhi could not prevent the outbreak of violence between Muslims and Hindus and was assassinated in 1948 by a Hindu fanatic.
Next, I will talk about major contribution and achievement of Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhi's Champaran movement in 1917 was the first of 6 liberation movements he led. Civil disobedience was employed to force British citizens to cultivate indigo. He struck an accord giving British farmers power and compensation and cancelling tax hikes. After this revolution, Gandhi was called Mahatma. The Khida movement in 1980 after floods in Champaran, Gujarat. Farmers asked kings to waive tax. Gandhi initiated a signature campaign to help people avoid taxes. He boycotted tax collectors. Gandhi influenced Indian population during the Khilafat movement 1990. It helped unite the country when Britishers tried to separate it on religious lines. Gandhi was a significant spokesperson for the All India Muslim Conference after World War I, when Muslims were worried about their caliphs and religious leaders. Non-cooperation 1920, Gandhi realized through years of participation that the British could only stay in India with Indian help. He started a non-cooperation movement that was the key to independence. He promoted Swaraj or self-rule during Salt March in 1929. Then in 1930, Gandhi launched a Satyagraha campaign against the salt tax, launching the Dandi movement. From Ahmedabad to Dandi, Gujarat, he walked 388 km to make salt. He attracted thousands. Final movement was Quit India in 1942. Gandhi's 1942 Quit India movement sealed the British Raj fate in India.
Next contribution is motivating and mobilizing the masses of India. Gandhiji was a great visionary with a universal idiom who saw Indian syntheism as its range transcending religion, caste, language, and ethnic divides. He used it to mobilize the masses for independence, enhance Indians' national identity, and help the people reclaim their freedom, pride, and dignity after 2 centuries of colonial tyranny. Gandhi's Satyagraha approach has effectively ended subordination. Satyagraha has long been employed to resist oppressions. During Indians' freedom movement, Satyagraha was employed to resist state authority and advance the people's welfare. Nonviolence was Mahatma Gandhi's most essential contributions. Gandhi wanted independence without violence. The moment he left non-cooperation due to Charitara violence, this choice is justified by many. Next is battle against race discrimination. Mahatma Gandhi changed how the world saw people of colors. Gandhi confronted racism in South Africa in 1893. He defended, he defended his Indian and Malay dignity. Gandhi struggled against South Africa's discrimination. He addresses injustice endured by Indians and others. The next one is establishment of Satyagraha campaign. In 1906 saw the birth of Satyagraha, a nonviolence opposition strategy. Satyagraha was his idea that nonviolence may turn force into friends and eradicate injustice and oppressions. And economic boycotts were utilized as Satyagraha measures in India till 1947. When Gandhi returned to India in 1915, Satyagraha was a powerful tool for social justice. His nonviolent approach to dispute resolution was based on total nonviolence. Lastly, played a leading role in India's fight for independence. Mahatma Gandhi was a major political figure. Indians named him Father of the Nations. To be forever remembered, he dedicated his life striving to free India from British domination peacefully. Gandhi aimed high to achieve his goal. He gained success for India that last idealistic leaders never imagined. Gandhi did more than anyone to aid for Indians. And if his aspiration didn't come true, it's because the people he loved couldn't meet his standards. Gandhi founded India. He gave the world Satyagraha, one of the century's most revolutionary ideas. He proved that nonviolence can change politics.
Gandhi throughout his life fought to unite individuals from diverse backgrounds in the belief that progress for everyone was achievable so long as everyone contributed to the greater good. While driving cross-country missions to ease neediness, extend women's privileges, construct strict and ethnic congruity, and dispose of the treacheries of the station framework, Gandhi remarkably applied the standards of peaceful common defiance, assuming a key part in liberating India from unfamiliar mastery. He was frequently detained for his activity, some of the time for a really long time, yet he achieved his point in 1947 when India acquired its freedom from Britain. During the time of the fight for freedom, there were many different points of view and strategies put up on how to achieve independence. However, Gandhi never decided to give up on the route of conversation, and he constantly described in great detail the reason for selecting a specific path and the act he took. He imbued the fight for liberation with a sense of spirituality and maintained a typically high moral level in discussion with various groups. In the end, we would love to mention one of his famous quotes: "When I despair, I remember that all through history the ways of stress and love have always won. There have been tyrants and murderers, and for a time they can seem invincible, but in the end they always fall. Think of it, always."
Hello everyone, my name is Visakan and my matrix number is 206848. Today I'm going to talk about what are the key lessons I learned from Mahatma Gandhi. The key lesson I learned from Mahatma Gandhi is building your confidence in nations. Gaining and maintaining one's self-assurance is essential to a successful leadership career. In addition, one of the most important skills is to inspire others. For instance, skill for instance, in 1940s, after the World War II, people were depressed, demotivated and frustrated. Mahatma Gandhi, acting on his own will, started a movement that changed the history of all nations. At that time, India had a population of 600 million people. Mahatma Gandhi alone in the influenced each and everyone, no matter where they lived in India. Gandhi instilled self-assurance in the Indian people, showing them they were on par with the British and demonstrating that it's possible to beat the most powerful nation on earth using non-violence. Thank you everyone.
Hi, hello everyone. First of all, I would like to say thank you very much, Dr. Mehan, for giving us a very good opportunity to tell about something good, which is very influencer or influencing to the nation. And I'm talking about the person who is Mr. Mahatma Gandhi. So yeah, so now I'm gonna talk about his some uh, key leadership development, which one is building confidence in the whole nation and positivity skill. You see, first of all, I would like to say that Mahatma Gandhi was another person, one of those person who gave, who was in a lead position for anti-British movement, and right now he is the father nation of India. So you just think that time England was one of the great or one of the strongest nation in the world, a country in the world, a country like uh, third world country like India, who uh, fought for their right against England or British Empire. It needs it needs to be very much motivated and influenced. Not only that, it takes to more courage, right? So which Mahatma Gandhi had actually, and he made the whole nation to believe that yes, they can be independent from a great British Empire. So that's the positivity skill which I'm talking about. The other one is he built a nation. How he built the nation? He was not only a political leader but also uh, a religious leader too. He always believed non-violence. He was always against the war. He always tried to spread love. He always worked for women's rights and everything. He made one of the great um, improvement in the society. He bring one of the great contribution to the society. So this is what I can say. That altogether I can say that yeah, the great positivity skill Mahatma Gandhi had, and he showed everyone that okay, so we can do this and this way to that way. So this is his confidence or building confidence in nation. So one of the key lesson or one of the key leadership development which we got him from.
Taking this course, there is a lot of takeaways I benefited. The main things that was often mainly to me are the chapters regarding the managing conflict and negotiation, decision making and creativity, and lastly, the leadership effectiveness. In my opinion, these topics are related to each other in context that these topics include the basic skills needed in order to be a good leader. Being a manager or aka a leader of this group myself, I realized that there are a lot of things that I didn't know in order to be a great. So therefore, this course has also become a learning platform for me to enhance my leadership skill and also organizing skills.
Throughout organizational behavior this semester, I've learned about a wide range of issues, including personality, cultural diversity, and effective leadership. Many of the subjects we've discussed will come in handy for my future working phase. Among the themes we've addressed this semester is emotional intelligence, which I believe is critical. This form of intellect is critical when it comes to dealing with others. Working in a fast-paced atmosphere necessitates the capacity to collaborate with others. Therefore, I know it will be good to enhance my skills in this area. You'll need to improve on your social awareness and build positive work relationships if you want to do this successfully. However, now that I've learned about the real benefits of variety, I'll be better equipped to contribute to this dynamic environment and help it realize its goals. Workplace diversity has been shown to increase employee retention and satisfaction while decreasing employee attrition. So I'll be on the lookout to ensure that the organization is doing everything possible to reap these benefits by maintaining a welcoming and diverse work environment. Finally, I've learned about many leadership styles and the circumstances in which they might be used. Ultimately, I want to exhibit my abilities while delivering the greatest possible outcomes for the firm and at the same time. To do so, I'll try to follow in the footsteps of some of the greatest leaders of all time. In order to achieve this, I plan to balance care for people with concern for output at the appropriate points in time.
Now I'm going to talk about what I've learned from MGM311 and how it's going to help me in future. First, organizational behavior is about human resources. So it helped me to learn how to deal with people, which is very important in future, especially in workplace. And it also helped me to how how to deal with bullies, especially in workplace, as you all know. And I really feel that it will going to help in future too. And it also teaches me how to behave in workplace and how to behave in front of managers. And I also learn decision making, which is very important, as you all know, and many more.
Thank you very much once again. So now I'm gonna talk about the what organizational behavior taught me. Well, I I have read one quote many years ago that if you want to be a good leader, become a good person first. And one more quote I would like to say right now, which is from American uh, chief navy officer, who said, if you want to be a great leader, or if you want to change yourself, do it from yourself first. Now let's come back to the topic. What organizational behavior and this course taught me? This course taught me to become a good person. To become a good person, you can become a good leader. To become a good leader, um, if you become a good leader, you can be immortal. uh, just a metaphor. If you want to change the society, change it from yourself. So this is a philosophy which I have learned during the whole semester or whole course. Our topic was about Mr. Mahatma Gandhi, and we are. I am especially very much influenced and motivated by him and by his leadership skill. So yeah, that's all from me today. Thank you very much. Thank you for everything.
The first point is to understand the situation first and then act. The second point is to take a firm yet respectful stance towards the opponent. The third point is to design simple and instructing action. The last point is to formulate your request clearly and calmly and to remain patient.